see it with that background. His background doesn't freak you out. Look at the top of this thing. Pull this down and all the colors. That's the communist flag. Yeah.
Is that Nancy Pelosi's flag?
Yeah. Careful. You won't be able to follow for 3 days.
I haven't hit anybody.
Okay, welcome to Tuesday Tech Talks. Today's February 8th. It is our 47th episode and our first one without our beloved leader, Clint Stevens. He is off in Hawaii enjoying the sun and water with his lovely wife, Kelly. So aloha to Clint. Everybody misses him greatly here at our office, and I'm sure out there in the internet. So we are recording and welcome everybody. Today, we are going to be talking about eMedia. I'm filling in for Clint. I'm Chris Haught. I've been in here, y'all know me, I think, and I work here at SEDC with Clint. We're going to be talking about eMedia today. We've done eMedia in the past. You should be familiar with that. That's a great resource. We've talked about some of the lesson plans you can find, the videos, the resources. We'll look at just a few, but if you go back and look at a few of our recent Tech Talks, you'll see more in-depth, and I'm going to give you a link to where you can see more content. But this is a really great, rich resource that UEN has put together for teachers to be able to find content to add in. One of the great things I really love is the videos with no ads. I call the eMedia and the UIMC videos the YouTube for teachers, because you have videos that don't have the ads that pop up. And, you know, with YouTube, you have those videos that have all those next videos that show up. So what happens with kids? They watch your video, then all of a sudden they're clicking next and next, and they're lost off in YouTube. Not just the kids, right? It happens to me too. But it's all teacher-approved content. You don't have to worry about them going off and finding inappropriate videos. And they're really good content-aligned, standard-aligned content. But there's also labs, activities, lesson plans. There's all sorts of content that's available. Plus, you can collect it and save, because how many times are you out there on the internet and you're looking for content and you find something over here on this website and you find something over here and you find all this content in different places and you're bookmarking it and you use it in this lesson, and you're using it throughout the lesson over a few days. And then next year you go to teach it and you thought, oh, where was that? Where was this? I had all these great lessons and plans. Oops. I had all these great, where was that site that I had last year? And so you don't always have a great place to store and keep all of these sites. So by using the tools in UEN, you can curate all of these sites to keep them in one place. So there's a great way to bookmark and save. I'm going to show you that as well too. Okay, so we're going to look at the eMedia. We're going to take a quick overview of eMedia for those of you, in case you haven't, don't remember it or didn't see that episode that we did last time. So if you go to uen.org, and I'm going to put these in the chat. I'll get that real quick. So if you want to go follow along, so that's in the chat there. So eMedia has been doing a great job, at least Lynn. eMedia has been doing a great job of trying to curate this content for you. And so they have these pages for a lot of their products. There's one for Utah's Online Library. There's one for Adobe Spark. So if you just go to uen.org/ and then put Adobe or UOL, you'll find a lot of these pages like this. And what you'll see is the most recent video will be right here. But if you come up here to the update playlist, you click on the playlist, and it's going to just show you, it's kind of like a YouTube playlist. It's showing you all the different topics that they've done. So if you come down here and you look at some of these, and there's exploring eMedia collections, that's a great one. Exploring the search tools, but curating resources would be a great one for you to go back and review and get some more extra tips from Katie Blunt. She does a good job with that. But you can go back and they're just little quick videos. And here, if you look, this is the February highlights, which we're going to look at. But these are kind of quick links to all the different parts of eMedia. You can also request PD. It would either be UEN or Clint or I coming down. They also have eMedia courses, if you have courses like the ETEP courses that we do, but also courses with UEN, where you can take courses on how to learn these and go a little bit deeper. Great resource for some of you, especially you middle folks that are taking the ETEP course, that are some of the initiative leaders in your group, that you take this course and then you could share that information with the others. But this is a great place to go and find that information. So we're going to go just take a quick look into eMedia to look at those resources. So I'm in eMedia now. And so you can get to that just by going to the UEN website. And if you come down to the bottom right here, there's a link that just takes you right to it. So you can access eMedia this way, but if you don't sign in, you don't get all the premium spot, that's the stuff that's just for teachers. So you want to sign in with your My UEN account. If you don't remember your password or your username, then you can always reach out to me or use the forget password. So just sign me right in. You can tell because your picture, or you'll have an E right there. But you can just use the forget password, or if you haven't created an account, you might have to create an account. So if you've looked in it before, or you've watched our other sessions, you'll know that there's different areas. The Discover is where there's collections of resources. One I really like is this collections. And so they do collections, are kind of like just curated groups. And this February highlights is a great one because it changes every month. So if I know I wanted something that's topical for this month, I could come right in here and say, well, this month we've got a couple things going on, right? We've got President's Day, Valentine's Day, it's Chinese New Year's, it's Black History Month. So they've already pulled together some of the content for those particular topics. So I look through here and I can see, oh, there's Abraham Lincoln, African-American. Here's something on Jimmy Carter. So this kind of has made a little group for me. So maybe if I wanted to pick this China, the rise and fall of dynasties, I could look at it. I could view the resource, which would just open that video in a window, and then I could watch the video, or I could download it right there. But I'm just going to go back. But then it kind of gives you the grade level, gives you a description. They're working on aligning everything to the standards. So not everything is. If you're in there as a teacher and you know what standard is aligned to, you can add the alignment right here. They've got a group of teachers that's going through and working on the alignments. But here's the key right here. Here's what makes it really nice. I can come right here and hit this save, okay? And see, I've already got a couple of folders created. And I created one already for Chinese New Year, but you could just come down right here and say, create a new folder, and whatever content area, lesson plan, unit, class, whatever you wanted that to be, you could make this folder right here. So remember that you're making these folders that are just kind of like your bookmark folders in your browser, but they're actually in UEN. So in that folder, you can put videos, lesson plans, links, anything that's going to help you as a teacher put together a lesson plan when you get ready to teach that. Sound good so far? Thumbs up? All right. Okay, so you go through there and you collect all these resources. Just put everything in that folder. You can see there's all sorts of things. There's lesson plans. It says right here. I could also come through here up on the left, and I could filter it by education level, by the material type. You know, if I only wanted a video, if I only wanted, certain grade level. So that way I could filter. And if, you guys that are high school, you only want high school. Elementary, only want elementary. So that's in the Discover, okay? And then you could also search just certain resources or certain providers as well. Then they have the hubs. Hubs are created by UEN. Okay, so if we look at all hubs, okay, these are resources on specific content areas. So I was just talking to a CTE teacher, and he was complaining that he just has a hard time finding resources to teach. And if you look in here in digital media arts, there's all sorts of resources for filmmaking, broadcast journalism, podcasting, digital photography. So lots of great resources in there. Okay. But this one too, the Seed Hub, we know the seed standards are new. So you could go in there, and this is all by grade level. So if you're elementary teachers, so you can pull resources out of there as well to find resources, or you could go into groups. So hubs are done by UEN, has professional resources in them. Groups are done by schools, districts, associations. So you as Millard could put together a Millard school group and put all of your resources in there. So think if Delta High and Millard High were going to work together to create some resources, you could put them in there for everybody to use. So think about that collaboration we were talking about earlier. You could put your content in there. But again, it's the same type of thing. You come in here and you get your resources and you find that content that you want. Or you could just search, what's a subject? Somebody want to tell me a subject they're going to start teaching next week? Nothing? You got to turn your mic on, Ben.
Just say it.
Equine science.
Equine science.
Equine science. Oh, bummer.
Oh, nothing,
Oh, see, I
buddy.
hate when that happens. Let's try equine. I did spell that right, yeah.
Great Depression.
Oh, I let you down. Okay, so I can't believe there's nothing in there under equine. What else could what would that come under?
Animal science.
Animal science.
So yeah, sometimes like Google, maybe nobody's put the keywords of equine under that. Okay,
There
so
we go.
yeah, so we have animal adaptations, and then again, you could filter it by education level. So we'd want to do high school.
Stars and galaxies.
Yeah. Grasslands, fossils. So it all depends on the keywords that people put in, because I'm seeing cells. Yeah. So you'd have to probably do a little bit more keyword searching on that, because we've got, let's see.
Going off of science instead of animal.
Yeah. Let's do animal. Then we're going to get a lot of animal adaptations, animal studies. So let's filter that by education level. Yeah, you might have to do some filtering on that one. Classifying animals. So that's biology, science.
So let's jump to one that we know will be there. The Great Depression.
And actually, Jeremy, I was looking for subjects to look for, and I happened to look at your course, and I started looking at Woodrow Wilson's and the 14 points, and I found stuff on that. So yeah, here's the Great Depression. Here's a podcast. So if I wanted to look at that, then I could come here, I could view it and listen to it. I could read about it. It's a lesson plan template. So this is kind of nice, because here where another teacher has put a lesson plan, and these come from when UEN is doing some of the lessons when they're teaching the eMedia course or some others. Part of the assignment is teachers have to create a lesson plan, and that's where these come from. So these are graded by the UEN trainers, so they're usually really good. So here is a lesson plan on how to create a podcast with all that information. So you have your goals and outcomes, the planning instructions. So this would actually be a lesson plan that you could use. Okay, so you could save that the same way. And these are usually aligned to the standards. Oh, she hasn't aligned this one yet though. Okay, so these usually are aligned to the standards, but if you wanted to save this one, then you could save it and put it in a folder. Okay, so what do you do with all that saved content? That's what we're really here to see too. So you've kind of got an idea how you can go find content and save it, right? Got that? Thumbs up? Okay, so once you've got it and saved it, then you come over here to Canvas, okay? And when you're in Canvas, now I've made a module here. And we know when we make modules, we may want to make a first page with maybe an introduction into the content area. So we could make a page called, we'll start with a page and say introduction. Okay, and so when we're starting to introduce that topic, okay, we'll edit that page. This is where you might want to put the learning expectations, the I can statements, however you want to start that session out, or the introduction of what they're going to be learning. But here's where the fun part comes. Okay, you guys, we've talked about inserting things. I think several of you were when we talked about using the Gale information and being able to embed that. This works the same way. So we use this little socket icon. This is the thing that allows us to embed all sorts of things into Canvas. Now my eMedia is showing up because I've been using it. Everything that you've last used is going to show up right here. If I click on the view all, which is what you'll have to do, these are all things that you can embed into an assignment, into a page, into a discussion, and some of it into quizzes, not quite yet, but all of these things you could embed. Okay, so I'm going to look for eMedia. And then now all of a sudden it's going to show me all that stuff from eMedia. Now I could go right into here and search through eMedia and just find stuff. Like say if I wanted to find something, I could go to that February highlights and look what I was going through, and I still have some filters, and I could say, okay, yeah, I want to preview that here. It's going to open into a new tab. And then I look at it, watch the video, and say, yeah, that's what I want to put, and I could select it right there. Okay, so you can, but I find it harder to actually search and find things in this smaller window. And so that's why I like to go to that, the full eMedia, and search and find my stuff, because what happens, I have this My Items tab right here. And once I have my items, I have all of my folders right here. Okay, so whatever topic, whatever folder I had, like I did Chinese New Year. Okay, so these are the items that I found. Some were lesson plans. Now I'm probably not going to want to embed a lesson plan to show to students, right? There are student-facing lesson plans, so if I found one of those, but this was right here was a video. So I'm going to select that video, and now it just links that video right in. So any content, it puts a link. It doesn't embed it. I wish it did embed it. Hopefully they'll have that fixed in the near future. It would really be nice. But watch what happens. So I'm going to save and publish it. Now I'm going to use Student View. And so now you've got your instructions. You may say, watch the video. If it was in an assignment, you may say, watch the video, and then they might have to have a response. And then now when I open it, it just opens right up. So this kind of takes away all of the issues that kids had to, to be able to link things, or to have to authenticate when they were going into eMedia or to Utah's online library. You can link it right into there. It opens up. They can play and watch the video. And then notice, unlike YouTube, there's no videos on the sidebar. There's no next video. There's no ads. And these videos are all pretty well done. They're pretty, most of them are pretty engaging. Whoa! Oh, you probably can't hear that.
China is host to an unconventional theme park. Celebrating multiculturalism, this theme park showcases the way of life.
But then when the kids are done, they could watch that and they could go on to the new thing. So would that be a great way to introduce a topic? Maybe when we talk about blended learning, where you could have the kids watch that video, the night before, or, watch it the day before, and then you introduce the topic. Well, what did you learn about that? What do you want to learn more about? Or when you talk about the equine, finding a video that kind of pre-teaches some of that stuff and let them watch the video to learn a little bit more about it. So how's that look so far? Yeah? Okay. So, and then, just a reminder about the other things that you can add. The research in context, that's part of those Gale in Utah's online library. So you could also add some text to go with it as well with that video. Sometimes when that happens, you just got to give it another try. Let's see. Come on, there we go. So if I search for Chinese New Year, then here's an article, you can read the excerpt, click on it. And so then I would read the article, make sure that's, ties in with what I wanted. And then I can just click this embed document. Okay. And then save it. And so if you've got a video and an article, that has basically the same topic, you're giving those students that choice. Remember at the beginning of the year when we talked about that universal design learning, about giving those kids the choice to learn in different ways. Some kids may need to hear it and see it. Some may want to read it. But now you've created something that's got text and video along with it. Okay. And also within Utah's online library, within eMedia, there was also some links to other third-party sites that have information with lesson plans and other things. So you could, on any content area, you could collect all of this information, and between the bookmark in eMedia and having everything in Canvas, because we know when you build this in Canvas, what happens next year, right? You can just import it and put it over into next year's course. Okay. So any questions on that so far? I know I went through that pretty quick. All good? Okay. So in eMedia, again, if you come here into groups and join some of these groups, if you go back to see all groups, oops. So when I went back and used student view, it recognized me as a student, so it wouldn't let me into those premium. So now I got to log back out as a student and log back in as a teacher, because I used the student view in Canvas. So that's why it logged me out. I got to log back in. Okay. So as a only teachers can see some of those extra things. But this makes a really great way for your students to be able to easily log in and view those resources. Of course, they also can go into Utah's online library. If you want them to go find these resources, they come into Utah eMedia right through here, and this authenticates them. They're not going to be able to see all of the stuff that you do, but they come into eMedia and they'll be able to search and find a lot of those videos as well. Okay, so they'll be able to go and find videos and look as well. But that's a lot of searching for the kids to do. It's much better for you to find that specific content and kind of post that into a video for them. Okay, so we did try it. So that link, UN Resources, is that link that I put in. I'll put that in again I saw Liesl joined us. Not as good as Clint is putting those links in as quick. Okay, I think we're doing good on time. Okay, any questions?
Nothing from Millard.
That's about all we got today, huh? Okay. And, I got to finish. Oops, I shouldn't stop sharing. Okay, before we finish up, a couple more things to, I did that again. Hang on a second. Okay, can you see my screen? Any questions?
We see you.
Oh, I messed that up again. Okay. Let me try this again. Share my screen. See what happens when Clint's not here. Okay.
Hey, there we go.
There, now you see it, huh? Okay. So you said coming up. Okay. So if you have not registered, register now. Registration is open. Okay. So I'm going to put these links in the chat. You said is a lot of fun. And we want everybody to be there. It's great to see everybody in person. Let me get that links.
You're going to it as well? Who else? Is it just the two of you?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Jeremy.
Okay. Are you guys going?
Jeremy and Christine are.
Cool. Okay, and then we have UTED chat. That happens every Wednesday night. That's a lot of fun. Did you guys go last week? I know we talked about it last week.
Jeremy's got questions about the USET.
Okay, what's that?
So I have the registration papers as a confirmation and everything, but I went on the attendee list and I'm not there. So I sent Tricia an email. Is it Tricia?
Trisha Jackson.
Yeah, an email. So we'll probably work it out or whatever, but it's not showing me on the list of the thing, but you know what I mean? I have the little scan thing, but it's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know they're still working on it. They're just now getting all the registration put together. They have to put everything where they collect it in Eventbrite and then put it into Sched, and it's yeah. So
Okay,
as long as
perfect.
you've emailed Trisha, yeah, she'll take good care of you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it'll be fun. Okay, and then UTED chat, survival tips for teachers. That's going to be a great one with Becca Kirkman. So you want to jump in, and even I know we talked about that with Jared last week. Even if you just want to kind of get on and search in Twitter for that hashtag UTED chat, and then just kind of keep refreshing on that latest chats part and kind of keep looking at that and kind of follow along and see how it goes and see if you want to jump in and answer some questions. It's a really great group and a lot of fun. And UEN Homeroom podcast. Okay, that's always a great fun, great read to read. I always like to load them on my phone so I can listen to them when I'm driving. Okay, and then do not forget to sign the roll. Clint will probably post them into Midas once he gets back and give him some time to catch up because I don't have access to his roll in Midas. So you want to just hang on and give him some time to get that done. And then as usual, the recording will be posted, and that because we're live, that will be recorded and that will be posted automatically by the end of tonight. Okay. Any other questions? And I should have edited that one because he won't be here next week. Next week is going to be, let me go back. Next week is going to be Canva with Matthew Winters. I don't know if any of you have used Canva. It is a really great tool. It's great for, we've done Adobe Spark, right? For creating little infographics and memes. Canva is really great. I use Canva a lot, and it's great for creating little posters, things like this graphic right here. It's super, super easy to create all sorts of signs. Secretaries love it. It's a great thing. So that one's a great one. And then Clint's going to follow that up end of February with posters, because we print posters for schools. And so we can print some posters for you if you need them. And Clint will be so proud. It's 4 o'clock on the button. So
Yeah.
I'm open for questions. As usual, I will be happy to answer any questions, help with anything. I'm going to go ahead and stop the